Kai, Jungkook and Jace all come in looking like they had just gotten out of the shower due to how much they had sweat. Jungkook flopped on the couch, seeming exhausted. Jungkook, you stink, you uttered, holding your nose. Oh yeah? He stood up, grabbing your wrist. Kai, help! You shrieked as Jungkook pulled you into his arms. Sorry, Ryan, but my wife is getting it too. Kai lifted Jisoo into his arms. Kim Kai, put me down. Jisoo couldn't help but laugh while yelling at him. Looks like you will have to shower with me now. Jungkook whispered to you, sending shivers down your spine. He ran his fingers along the bottom of your stomach playfully. Don't, you growled at him. Beastie. Jungkook responded with a chuckle before finally letting you go. You are still showering with me though, he shouted as he ran up the stairs. He literally doesn't care who hears him. You threw your arms up in the air, first frustratedly, while blushing. Kai and Jisoo laughed at your reaction. A few minutes had passed and Jungkook came back downstairs. Come on, he grabbed you, throwing you over his shoulder. No one is going to save me, you questioned, letting Jungkook carry you away. Do you want to be saved? Jisoo asked with a raised eyebrow. Honestly, not really, so you didn't respond. He finally put you down when he opened the bathroom door. He strolled over to his shower and took off his shirt, revealing his toned body. You couldn't peel your eyes away. You didn't want to give him the satisfaction of knowing he had a good body. But the man was handcrafted by a god. He pulled you in by your wrist and then turned on the shower. You can leave if you want, Jungkook muttered while slipping out his trousers. You shrugged and took off your top, catching his eye. He walked over to you and ran his hand down the side of your body, stopping at your waist. He licked his lips before biting. You always do that, you spoke softly, unhooking your bra as the steam began to fill the bathroom. Fogging the mirror, you slipped off your pants and thong. Jungkook was in his boxers. Shit, the towels. He slapped his forehead, running out. You shook your head with a grin as you felt the warm water run down your body, making you want to fall asleep. It felt so soothing. You turned to face the shower head, letting the warm water heal your aching muscles and ribs. Jungkook placed the towels on the heater so that they would be warm when you both got out. He stepped into the shower and shut the shower door behind him. You had your eyes shut as you took in the water that seemed to bring you peace. Jungkook grabbed a bottle of shampoo and squirted a lot onto your head. You gasped as the shampoo dropped down the sides of your wet hairs. Before letting out a laugh, he said, You stink. Jungkook teased, getting a little show off you in return. You scooped some of the shampoo off your head and rubbed it onto his head. I only stink because of you. You glared at him, massaging his scalp. He smiled slightly. He then washed your hair, pulling the shower head out of its stand and washing the soap out of your hair. He then did himself before reconnecting the shower head to its holder. You noticed that the glass of the shower door was all fogged up, so you drew a smiley face on it. You noticed an evil grin appear on his face before he added devil horns to it. I can actually draw, he bragged confidently. Oh yeah? You raised your eyebrows at him. Yeah, he smiled at you, stepped closer to him. He put his hands on your waist and pulled you in. He kissed you, smiling on into it. What's got you in a good mood? You questioned him, beaming. I don't know, maybe for the first time I can see a bit of sunshine through the thick black clouds. He muttered, his smile slowly fading as he talked while staring at you. I'm going to act like I understood that. You chirped happily as you hopped out of the shower, grabbing a towel and throwing it over to Jungkook. It's so cold. You shiver in front of the bathroom mirror with the towel around you. Jungkook hugged you from behind with his towel wrapped around just his waist and whispered, "You wanna know what's the best way to warm up? Skin to skin contact." He whispers sent tingles throughout your body, making your heart race. Your breath hitched, signaling him that he was affecting you. He let out a soft chuckle before releasing you from his hug. He left the bathroom and went into his room. You felt so cold without his arms around you. A few hours had passed and now you were all sitting downstairs talking. "So, how long have you and Ryan been a couple?" Kai's low, husky voice asked Jungkook. Jungkook started to tense up as he rubbed the back of his neck awkwardly. "I hate when you do that." You grabbed his hand, stopping him from rubbing his neck. He scolded at you playfully, knowing that you was teasing him. "Since my father arranged us to be married," Jungkook replied, unsure what to say. "Your father may be a psychopath, but at least he chose the right girl for you," Kai responded, glancing over at you, making you stiffen with nervousness. Once he saw that I was the tiniest bit happy, he didn't like it or her anymore. Jungkook shrugged, resting his arm over your shoulders as you inched your way closer to him slowly. Chase strolled in, appearing out of thin air. "Hey, what's for dinner?" Grayson strolled in 10 minutes later. "Chinese?" Jungkook asked the whole room. They all nodded in agreement. "I don't want anything," you replied quietly to Jungkook, who gazed at you for an answer. He stood up, about to get the phone to get ready to order. You knew he wouldn't let you sleep without food. "No way, you are eating something I know you haven't eaten today." Jungkook warned you, putting on his deep tone. You just shriveled up into a ball on the couch. "My ribs hurt," you stated quietly to Jungkook, who was now standing behind you. "I'll get you some painkillers," Jungkook muttered before walking into the kitchen. You shut your eyes and before you knew it, Jungkook had woken you to it. You got scared from suddenly being woken up. You jumped out of fear, covering your head for protection instinctively. Jungkook hushed everyone in the room as you stared around worriedly. "Here," he handed you a big plate of food with your favorite things on it. "You didn't have to eat it all, just some of it," Jungkook reassured you. You yawned sitting up. It was 9 p.m. and you was already tired. You picked up at the food slowly, but you ate some. "Ryan," Kai threw you a can of soda. You smiled happily at the sight of the can. It was your favorite thing to drink. You all talked for a while before you became sleepy again. You fell asleep sitting upright but ended up leaning on Jungkook's shoulder for support. He moved you so that you was laying on his lap. Jisoo had fallen asleep in Kai's arms not long after you fell asleep against his shoulder. Jungkook, Kai, Grayson and Chase were all talking about random shit. Then you sat up frantically, gasping and looked horrified. "Ryan," he said loudly, trying to make you realize you was awake. Jisoo had been woken up by your gasp and was about to come over before Kai put his arm in front of her to stop her. She looked at Jungkook before searching the room frantically with her eyes. Jungkook gently grabbed your face, forcing your hair towards him. "Look at me," he muttered, but you couldn't hear him. "Look at me," he demanded loudly. You had tears welling up in your eyes as you stared at Jungkook, shaking from fear. You shut your eyes as you tried desperately to catch your breath. "I'm here, it's okay," he reassured you, stroking your cheeks with his thumb. "But he had me," you uttered, still seeming paranoid. He hated this. He hated this so fucking much. He can't help you when you are asleep. And that's why he hated. He would love to kill the demons in your nightmares, but only you can do that. "Well, now I have got you, understand?" He raised his eyebrows at you. You nodded slightly before playing with your hands, trying to calm yourself as best as you could. It was working slightly, considering your breathing had slowed a lot. Jisoo stared at Kai with a pout, feeling bad for you. He pulled you into his arms, the safest place for you to be. You latched onto him and didn't want to let go. "You are okay," he hushed you, trying to get you to go back to sleep. He knew you was exhausted. You nodded slightly, blubbering into his shoulder. He went to lie down and you clung into him like he was going to disappear. "Don't go anywhere," you said, shivering. "I'm only laying down," he replied. He lay on the couch as you got comfortable next to him. He felt awful since he couldn't do anything else to help. You was very tense for a second, but eventually gave in, cuddling up to him and laying in his arms. He ran his hand through your hair soothingly. "Nightmare?" he questioned you. "Yeah, I think so." You glanced up now at ease while laying next to him. What did he do?" he asked carefully, not wanting to upset you again. "He strangled me." You hid your face in his chest, feeling safe in his arms. He felt the anger build up in his chest as you hid, afraid. "I won't let him hurt you," he whispered quietly to you so only you could hear. You nodded slightly. You have to admit it feels good when they find comfort in you because you think the only thing in you is darkness. Kai muttered, eating the leftovers from the Chinese earlier. Kai has a point. It was weird to have someone who felt safe in your arms instead of, well, terrified. It's crazy how he wouldn't even let a girl sleep in his bed, let alone in his arms, just a few months ago. "You're her safety blanket," a half-asleep Jisoo murmured, cuddled next to Kai. "What's a safety blanket?" Grayson asked, confused. "You guys are 15. You won't understand what a person being a safety blanket is like," Jisoo explained to them. "She is so soft and warm. I almost feel like I am a bad influence on her," he sighed defeatedly as he battled with his thoughts, unsure of what to do. "Jungkook, as far as I can see, you are the only one who has stayed. That's more than enough. That shows me that you are not a bad influence. You are human. You make mistakes," Kai voiced confidently. "I have left before though," he admitted, staring at you, who was now asleep on his lap. "But you got her back, did you not?" Kai's deep voice grumbled as he raised his eyebrow questioningly. "Yeah," he replied, stroking a strand of your hair behind your ear. "All that matters is the fact you always come back," Kai reassured him with a slight smile. "Both," Kai replied with Jisoo drew circles on the inside of Kai's palm. You stared in his arms and then proceeded to hold his hand while asleep. You hummed contently. "It's weird. I never thought I would see Jungkook with a girl." Grayson raised his eyebrows judgmentally with a cheeky look on his face. "Neither did I," he sighed as he watched your peaceful expression. "Did you get a date to the dance yet?" Jungkook teased Grayson. "Yeah," he smiled proudly. "Who is it?" Chase asked him curiously. "Zaya." He grinned. Chase rolled his eyes. "Who's Zaya?" Kai asked before kissing Jisoo repeatedly, making her laugh. "She's the popular girl," Chase scoffed. "You're just jealous." Grayson snarled at him defensively. "Whoa, relax," he hushed them. "If you wake my girl up and I'll kill you both, understood?" He warned them, causing the boys to shut up. "Wow, he's almost as protective as you." Jisoo spoke with shock while staring at Kai. "I'm not protective," Jungkook scolded at Jisoo. Kai stood up and walked towards you both, obviously trying to achieve something. He went to touch you, but Jungkook grabbed his wrist, stopping his arm forcefully. "Not protective, huh?" Kai turned his attention to his hand that had stopped him from touching you. Jungkook did that subconsciously without even realizing it. "Oh shit," he stared at his hand as if it wasn't his. Kai sat back down with a groan. "Do you still wear suits all the time?" Kai questioned Jungkook with a cheeky smile. "Yeah," he nodded, clueless as to why he would ask that. "You should be a kid while you still can," Kai warned him, pulling out a cigarette. "I don't want to be a kid." He spoke with disgust in his tone. He always hated kids. They always think they know everything, yet they haven't even lived half of the life he have. "Being a teenager is great," Grayson smoked while scrolling through his phone. "Yeah, well, only when your father didn't abuse you mentally and physically." Jungkook scoffed, pulling out a smoke following Kai's lead. Jungkook started getting really tense lately. It's like his anger would all of a sudden turn on and he couldn't switch it off no matter how hard he tried. He clenched his fist, trying to let his anger dissolve. Kai looked at him. "Go take a walk," Kai demanded, noticing that he was becoming agitated. Jungkook could feel that he was going to snap if anyone even annoyed him slightly. He gently moved you off of him and took his cigarette outside. He inhaled a lot of smoke and slowly breathed it out, hoping it would give him some relief, but it didn't. It gave near to none actually, probably because he had been smoking since he was 15. He walked back inside and jogged upstairs. He grabbed his wooden baseball bat that his father had gotten him for his 16th birthday and took it outside with him. His father is lucky he never used it on him. He walked up to the really big tree in his back garden and stared at it for a moment. He held the cigarette in his mouth while the bat rested on his shoulder. This is his favorite thing to do. When he is angry, he started swinging the bat at the tree, each hit becoming harder and harder. He was so angry at the world he always have been. It had given him the best thing in his life only for him to lose you again later. He knew he will F it up. He knew he will F it up somehow. The sound of the bat whipping through the air was piercing yet relieving.